We're going to just jump right in. And tonight I wanted to focus on what I call the IPAs, which are the income producing activities. So I just have a few things I want to go over. I'll make it really quick. So just a few announcements. This is a graphic, it's kind of blurry. I just pulled it off our team page, but it's in our team page. That I like when someone is interested, we're having a conversation, we go over everything and then they're like, how much is it? This is where I am starting. And then don't be afraid because, a lot of us, if you've been around for a while, we're used to the $160 packs, but start here and then work your way down. There's a term for it. I'm not sure what it is, but I think you'll be surprised like how many people will be like, oh, like you get so much more value. You get an extra, for a whole year body. It's only, what is it, like $60 more. And of course you have your $20 promo code. So don't be afraid. I know when this initially came out, like I was just like, I'll just stick to the $160 and then tell them it's $140, with the code. But I've been shocked like how many people go for this first, and we get 3 success skill points. So it's a 3-pointer. It's pretty darn sweet. If you have not sampled, besides you, Candace, I don't think anyone else is newly fresh postpartum, the new Sure Thing workout. Oh, I loved it. Make sure you at least, and maybe if it's not your thing, it's like Megan's not my jam or the lifting and all that, at least let your audience know about it. Like because you never know who might be ready. And this might be right up their alley. Our last program that launched was the XB Sweat and Sculpt. I don't think that fit a lot of our, I know it fits some, but it didn't fit a lot of our audience, at least mine. Like that wasn't their cup of tea, but I know for me, this is something that a lot of my mom's friends, girlfriends will get behind. So make sure you are blowing this up. It launches in December. You can start your groups in December for it, or you can wait until January and start your groups. It's literally whatever you decide. And then chocolate caramel Shakeology, brownie Shakeology, what's it called? Chocolate caramel brownie Shakeology came out. If you have not bought at least a box, I highly encourage you to. Will be a really fun flavor to just like add into desserts and showcase how Shakeology doesn't always have to be a shake. We can put it in energy bites and make cake pops with it and like cookies and those kind of fun things. So that's all I had. I'm just gonna skip that. We're gonna go right to need some water. If you are not familiar with our business activity tracker, that's basically where I'm pulling all these things from, but they are found right on our Coach Team Beachbody page. I have kind of 2 trackers I bounce between. I have this new coach tracker that literally just lays out all the things you should do every day, but there's also a checklist that you can do right on your phone. And like that's the picture of it. It's back in the coach office that walks you through all the things. So that's where I'm pulling this from. If you're like, how does Brooke know what to do, or what is she doing every day? Like follow a tracker. Like it literally tells you, post this on your stories, say like, have this conversation, do this, this business is not rocket scientist, but it is like, you do have to do the things to move your needle forward. So that's where those are coming from. And of course, proof of the product's work, it always comes down to being our job. So I want to hear in the comments, what workout did you do today? And if it was you had a rest day, that's totally fine. Just say like you had a rest day. What program are you following? And if you did your PD, because I know I did not do my PD today. I feel like I could blame that on a lot of things. I feel like coming off Florida, I feel like I'm still taking a lot away from that, but I know it's not cute. So I want to hear in the comments. I don't even see the comments. I did a prenatal workout. Gosh, there we go. And I can't even see the comments, so hopefully you guys are sharing in there. Okay, but if you're like struggling, like I don't even know where to start, that's where you start. Always, all the time, your journey, personal development. nutrition. Like if that's all you get done for the day, you don't get anything else done, that's a win in my book. Like that is a win, especially when you're newborn, you have a newborn, you're pregnant, you're in a season of toddlerhood or whatever it is. Like this is always our number one job. So this other stuff does lead to the business building, but this is always where we always need to start for this business. Okay, we're going to spend the first 10 minutes connecting. And this part, I just put down some bullet points of what I do when I connect. I took some of these from the business activity tracker, and I took some of these from like just my personal experience in the business and what I have found to work. So I usually, and don't let this first one scare you, I add 5 people on Facebook. If I see that one, they have a profile picture like of someone that I would get along with, and they're not, they look like someone I would be friends with, and we have 10 plus mutual friends, I just add them. Like, I don't think twice about it. I don't think like, oh my goodness, what if they don't like accept me? Or what if they're like gonna think I'm super weird? I don't even think about that. I just click add. And I move on. So I always aim for 5 a day. You can also do this on Instagram, but with Instagram, like I do notice like you need to do more than 5 a day. So I would say like 10 to 15, if like that's where Instagram is where you do. I run my business both on Instagram and Facebook. Another way to connect is I go on Instagram, or you could do this on Facebook, but so let's say, I'm not going to do this to any of you guys, but Candace, just because you're the person I could see right next to me. Let's say if I would go to your Instagram profile and I would click on your friend list. Again, don't do this to any coach friends, but like maybe a good friend of yours or a mom friend of yours or a coworker, go to their friend list and see maybe some friends of theirs that maybe you have a lot of mutual friends, that maybe you're in the same season of life and you're not really that connected. Just go at them. They're going to see that you have a mutual person. They're going to see you're in the same stage of life. Like that's kind of how you just start to slowly expand your network. So friends of friends on Instagram, message people from polls. If you haven't put up a poll in your story today, that's fine. I have made it kind of and non-negotiable in my business. I honestly probably put up like 2 to 3 polls a day about something, about motherhood, about house decorations, about like a question about whatever. And then I can easily go to those polls if I'm looking to connect and be like, okay, who is someone who answered this that I can just start a conversation with? So for example, I put a poll today, like, where should I look for a rocking swivel chair? And like all of these people had these like opinions about it. So I'm just starting conversations with them. It's like, it's not weird stuff. If they're engaging in my stories, it's not weird for me to ask them questions. So if didn't put up a poll today, that's okay. But make sure like start getting in the habit of that. And then getting on Insta stories, and asking people questions like as simple as, oh my goodness, I love your daughter's outfit. Where is it from? Or where did you go on vacation? That looks so fun. Or where did you get your Christmas tree from? I love it. Things that you actually do love. Like, we're not trying to be fake in this business, but simple things that sometimes we're just like go through people's stories really, really fast. So we're going to do that for 10 minutes and love and comment on pictures. So I'm not going to play any music, where I'm just going to mute ourselves, and we are going to go ahead and get started. We are going to do 10 minutes of solid connecting. So timer is set, and that's what you should be doing. All right, ladies, that was 10 minutes of connecting. So hopefully you got a good feel just how to start branching out, talking to people without like it being super weird. Another thing I was going to say for Instagram, when I go to like friends of like the followers of my friends, I always kind of like to see if I see kind of they have a little circle around their profile, that means they have stories up, which usually just kind of tells me like they're a little bit more active on social media. So that's something that I always kind of pay attention to follow. Okay, next up, inviting. So, two questions I always ask myself when I'm sitting down for the week to invite or the day. What am I inviting to? And who am I inviting? Right? For me, I'm usually inviting to one or two things. One is my boot camp group. And usually that's my start mine at the beginning of the month. And two, coaching, coach sneak peek. Right now, I'm going to be having a coach like masterclass, I'm calling it, but basically it's like a coach get started guide. So know what you're inviting to and who you're inviting to. And if you don't know, then you got to take some time to figure it out. You know, when are you starting your next program? When are you trying to get a group of girls together by a certain date from? And like that, make it super clear to your audience when that is. So it's not weird when you do show up in their inbox and say, hey, did you see my group? Do you want to try it out? So here are, I'm going to share 3 main invites with you guys. I cannot get into the chat section. I feel like, I don't know if other people's Zooms updated recently. Like it won't let me like click on it, or else I would copy and paste these into the chat section. But from posts, when I have a post about whatever it is, this is I'm not going to read them off, but here's my invite from that. I always like to reach out and just tell people thank you for clicking, like, because truly I am thankful, especially on like my coaching posts or connection or challenge group posts when there's like 2 people who like it, like, thank you. This is probably my go-to ones from my stories. Just always thanking people, hey, thanks for following along. Thanks for being here. I don't know if you saw it, but and then insert whatever I'm inviting to. And this last one is from polls that I put up daily in my stories. Sometimes people hit it by accident. Sometimes people hit it on purpose. You just never know, but I'm always going to give them the opportunity to hit it. So we are going to I'm going to give us maybe like 7 minutes of inviting. And don't be afraid, again, to just go from your stories or from your post, just telling people, thank you for being here. Thank you for following along. Have you ever thought about like doing this with you, joining your health and fitness journey alongside of you? So I'm going to do 7 minutes and we're going to invite. All righty. We are gonna move on from invites, and if you find that you're struggling to find people to invite, my advice would be go look back at your posts. Like, are you posting enough about what you're inviting to? Are you talking about it in your stories? And then also focus on connecting, because when my posts are kind of in line with what I'm inviting to, and I'm consistently connecting with people, then that funnel of inviting is always open. There's always someone I could just ask. There's always someone I could just thank. So if you're struggling there, that's the two places I would start. Wait, we're gonna spend about 5 minutes on follow-ups. And I just love this graphic because it just kind of like narrows it down to like why follow-ups are so important. And I remember like it was a big aha moment for me when like my friend was helping me get set up with some skincare routine and I wanted it. I'm like, yes, it was Beauty Counter. I'm like, yep, I want to do that. Like I've been wanting to try it out. And she like it is something that I wanted to do. And she literally had to follow up with me like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And I was just like, this is such a good reminder. Follow-ups are not icky. They are just coming back and helping someone out who wants to do something, but might just need an extra reminder, an extra, like just someone there being like, hey, did you want to do this? Are you still interested? I'm here for you. So this is truly where, especially in this business, a lot of the magic is. Here are 3 of my main follow-ups to people who maybe have ghosted me after they've gotten all the info. That happens all the time. To people who never even responded to me in the beginning. And then my last column is what I say to people who maybe told me no last month, or maybe just didn't ever say anything to me last month. And so I think you kind of have to change the language because I think these were from spring break or something. So we're going to spend just a couple minutes on follow-ups. We're going to do 5 minutes because I know it's 9 o'clock. But it's important to know you won't have anyone to follow up with if you don't invite. So that's why inviting is so crucial, because it's simply just planting that seed. A lot of times people won't be like, yes, like let's get signed up. This is where people you start to build that relationship and trust. And I will post all these in the team page too, so you guys can have them. All right, that's 5 minutes on following up. We're gonna keep chugging along. I think there's one more thing. We are gonna end. I'm gonna talk about a few more things, but this is where our last action step is go love on your people. So either the people that you are currently have in your groups right now. If you don't have anyone, then that's okay. Keep doing connecting and inviting and asking people to join you, but go contribute to your challenge group or team page. Comment, like, support. Like, this is where it takes two to tangle, right? And if you want to grow a team, if you want to not be isolated on an island, like, you have to get to know ladies on our team. You have to be intentional about asking questions, engaging, celebrate. You shout out a challenger, maybe on your stories or just in your groups or in your message pod. And maybe just even check in personally with maybe someone who signed up with you a couple weeks ago. Like, if you haven't checked in with them, like, we're just going to spend the last 5 minutes of this time together just checking in with the people that we have. And I notice, at least for me, this is where I can tend to spend a lot of my time, because this is where it's comfortable, right? Like, this is where people have already signed up with me. This is where, like, I know they're either doing the things or we've had all the conversations, but also, like, we can't get stuck just pouring in to those people only and never expanding. So that's why I put this last, because while it still is important, like, we can't spend all of our time in our challenge groups every single day. Like, we got to do those other things that we just did to move our business forward. So 5 minutes loving on your people. All right, ladies, hopefully you were able to touch base with somebody, reach out to them, cheer them on, something. We didn't get to this part, but this is something that I would encourage you to do if you haven't kind of yet, is make a post, maybe not today, it's bedtime, but like tomorrow. Like this is something, again, if you're struggling with inviting, you don't have anyone invite, like check your social media. Are you posting 4 to 5 times a week? Are you sharing in your stories? Are you connecting? I will again share these documents, and I think was there one more? Oh, and then I was going to have some time to check our back office. But I also want to respect your time. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. Those are basically when I connect, follow up, invite, that's exactly what I do. It's definitely, obviously I've been doing this for 6+ years. So it's like a part of my routine and like just what I sit down and do, but I don't make this any more complicated than it needs to be. Like this job is so easy to do, but also can be easy not to do. And that's why we have these power hours. And guess what? I'm saving this, I'm posting this team page. So tomorrow, if you're like, oh shoot, I'm struggling to do this on my own, pull this up, do it again. Like pull it up on Friday, do it again. Like this is, you just keep doing those things and then you will get that ripple effect going. So thank you guys so much for joining. I'm going to stop sharing and I will get this posted to the team page. Probably either like, well, probably not tonight, but either tomorrow or the next day. Now I can see the chat section. To go back and look at it. So thank you guys so much for joining. I hope this was helpful and let's make it a good night. See you later.